Alrighty, welcome back to Minesweeper. I guess not everyone was torn away, scared away, torn away. Weird way to put that. Oh, look, I'm surrounded by gore. Odd words are bound to come out of my mouth. Oh, good, and we're starting with more gore. Good. But yeah. I guess, you know, the talk of cannibalism last episode was not enough to deter just everybody, so I'm happy to see that, you know, quite a few of you seem to be in support of the series, so I'm giving it another shot, another episode. I figured, you know, this episode, I would take it a little bit less extreme, maybe a little bit, you know, a less weird topic, if you will. Actually, I should just start with the topic. So the topic I decided to bring to the table today is dreams. And this was inspired by the recent shenanigans in the gameplay video for Hacknet that I did earlier this month. If you didn't see it, slight spoilers, something happens in the game where I note very, very vividly that it was a nice reminder, or it was pretty much straight out of a stress stream or a nightmare that I often have. I almost spoiled it. Gonna cut it there. Gonna cut the spoiler there. If you want to see the actual spoiler, highly recommend you guys go ahead and check out the video, because it's quite the unexpected surprise. But yeah, so something happens in the video that really sort of transcends into real life, where I've had stress streams related to said issue, or said event, I should say. It's not even an issue. It's a literal event that happens that I take that hits very close to home. That's what I'm trying to get at here. So so I figured, you know, maybe I'll talk a little bit about. Damn it! Why did I close this? Getting blood everywhere. Gross. All this nice clean floor that I did in the last video, it's all ruined. It's all going to hell already. Bloody hell. Alright. So yeah, I figured I would talk a bit about the dreams, because dreams actually fascinate me. Like, it's I guess the art, or the quote-unquote science behind dream interpretation is sort of, I think, just that. It's interpretation. It's I think maybe you can, I don't know. It's been a while since I've actually tried to research dreams and dream interpretation, but I remember the last time I tried, it was quite a while ago, so, you know, the internet has, you know, become a long way since then. But I remember the last time I tried researching dream interpretations, it was like a whole bunch of just, you know, blogs and whatnot talking about the mysticisms and, I don't know, the rather odd, you know, take that people tend to, the odd extremes, I should say, the odd extremes that people tend to take with dreams. Like, oh, you dreamt about a bunny? That means you were probably molested as a kid or something, you know? Those are the types of things that I would come across on the internet. I'm like, okay, well, surely there's probably a better way, a better interpretation we can make that doesn't have to do with, you know, some kind of weird repression. But, you know, that is the internet for you, I guess. I don't think I have much room to complain, considering the first episode of this series I talked about cannibalism. So I think, you know, I'm probably on the weird side, or the darker side of the internet anyway, so I don't have much room to complain. But, you know, it is what it is. But I will say that I've noticed as I've gotten older, my dreams have gotten a lot more boring, but I feel like they've gotten a lot more meaningful in a sense, you know? Like, I feel like the dreams that I have now, I guess the dreams that I used to have as a kid, well, let's put it this way. I still have very vivid, weird, crazy dreams, but they're much less the norm than the boring, reoccurring dreams that I tend to have these days, and it's somewhat disappointing, you know, as someone who enjoys the imaginative nature of dreams, to always find myself in less than stellar dreams is always a disappointment. But I will say, and I want to talk about these vivid dreams, because let's talk a bit about the stress dreams that I have, because my brain, I think, secretly hates me in some way, because let's take the, okay, I can't, I'm gonna have to spoil it because it's a major dream that happens to me often. So as I mentioned in the Hacknet video, you know, as my system crashes in that game, which is an in-game thing, I mentioned how I usually have dreams where my system in real life crashes, and that is no joke. Like I have a tendency to have dreams where, like, especially since I've started doing YouTube videos, I've had dreams related to technical difficulties and other situations regarding my computer, because this computer took quite a pretty penny to build, and every single day I stress about whether or not it's gonna break down on me, because if it does, then I'm sort of screwed, you know. I really don't have any alternatives. I don't have backup parts, so it's always a stress to think that, you know, one day the way that you usually go about your life is completely changed because of a little snafu or something, you know. So oftentimes that is a core element, I guess, of my stress streams, and it sucks. And the thing about my brain is, so let's say I have a dream where my system crashes, or God forbid somehow I get stuck with an elaborate the Trojan or hacker, you know, something happens to my computer where it's just, it doesn't work properly, and I'm like, okay, well, I can fix this, because, you know, I'm not the most savvy of damn it. Nowadays, when it comes to a stress stream, my first reaction is to sort of go into a lucid state where I recognize I must be in a dream, because as bad as my luck is in real life, the fact that I would find myself in this situation suddenly, it can't be real, you know. And so far they've all just been dreams, so fingers crossed, you know. But that's the thing, is my brain has figured that out. My brain has figured out, oh yeah, okay, so Keaton realizes that these are stress streams. So you know what we should do, brain, or parts of my brain, the evil parts of my brain? What we're gonna do is we're just going to mess with that. We're gonna let him assume he's gotten into this dream in a lucid fashion, so he's under control. He knows he's in the dream, and we're gonna turn it on his head. We're gonna be like, nope, you know, this is in fact real. So it's sort of like, I don't know, it's this weird situation where, like, it used to happen as when I was younger, where sometimes my brain would try to trick myself into wetting the bed. It's never happened, but there's always been these situations where I've been like, okay, am I dreaming? I'm literally dreaming about peeing right now. Is my body trying to trick me into peeing the bed? And luckily, I've never actually peed the bed, or wet the bed, I should say. Let's be a little bit more classy here. Wet the bed. Never actually wet the bed, but I've been in so many situations where my brain was like, no, you're awake. You're awake. It's okay. You're standing in front of the toilet right now. You can pee, and you'll be fine. And you... and I'll be like, hold on a second. I'm gonna, like, poke myself or poke my arm or something. Wait, I'm not awake at all. You know, you always do those tests, you know, to figure out whether or not you're dreaming. Like, I'm gonna go off on a tangent here. There's a great movie. I don't remember what it's called, but it was made by the same people who made that movie with Keanu Reeves, and it's like an animated movie, but they rotoscope it. If you don't know what rotoscoping is it's when they animate over, like, live action performances, and I forget what it's called. It's like Dark or something. I don't know. It's terrible with information today, but yeah, there's a movie that sort of explores the concept of dreams, and, you know, what people do in dreams and how they perceive themselves in dreams. And, you know, lucid dreaming is a big part of the narrative, the overarching narrative in that is, how do you know when you're dreaming? Oh, well, you can check, like, the light switch. You know, if you can't manipulate the world, you're probably dreaming. And, you know, it's pretty fascinating. It's a really great movie, in my opinion. Not for everyone, obviously. Not a lot of action, but it's pretty cool, in my opinion. But nonetheless, really, you know, the ideals presented in such a movie have always kind of stuck with me, and you know, things that I attempt to do when dreaming. So, you know, if a situation is too, like, say, too good to be true, or too out there, like, you know, I'm very cautious with my PC if it's not obvious by now. So, you know, for me to get into a situation where I'm like completely blindsided by what's happening, that to me already raises a red flag. So it's it's things like that you know, I just try to remember in a dream. But that's the thing, is just my brain just continues to figure out ways to trick me, and it's just absurd, where I think that I literally have some moments where I'm just like, okay, this is a dream, I'm gonna wake up. And then I wake up, then I realize, wait, I'm still dreaming. I just dreamt about waking up. Like, I always thought that was just a movie cliche, but it's a thing that apparently happens, or I've accepted it as, God, this thing jams like 99% of the time. What is happening? Good Lord. Not 99%, it was more like 90%. I don't, look, I'm not here to measure percentages. I'm here to talk about stupid dreams. But no, it's really frustrating to always have to second guess your reality when you're dreaming. I've never had I don't think I've ever had a proper nice lucid dream. Like, my lucid dreams are more like a defense mechanism at this point, to be like, no, you're dreaming, you just gotta chill out. This is not a thing. This is not a situation that requires you to be stressed out, or any sort of situation. Just, you know, keep a cool head. It'll be fine. You know, that is pretty much what my oh my God, my lucidity has become in dreaming, which is very, it's unfortunate, because I hear other people who are like, oh yeah, you know what? I can fly in my dreams. I can manipulate reality in my dreams, or, you know, I can manipulate the situations in which I am dreaming. Push the buttons! Push the buttons! There we go. Jesus. Oh, you know, we'll sandwich this situation. My boring dreams, I've realized, and it's, I don't know what it is, but I have reoccurring dreams of where I'm constantly in a place in which I'm somewhat familiar with, but doesn't actually exist. Like, for example, like, the way I describe it, but I don't think it's what it is like a reoccurring location that I have dreams in is like kind of a mall slash plaza. I don't call it a mall because I've never actually recognized a store in this location, but it's a social gathering area where there's, you know, people hanging out, you know, publicly, and, you know, just families, friends, just, you know, they're in a place. My inner, like, my instant recognition is like, oh, it's a mall, but it's not. I don't know, that's weird. But I have a lot of recurring dreams in two versions of the mall. One in which you know, I can recognize the people, and they're usually people that I've met over the years or have had some sort of friendship or relationship with. You know, they've come back in my dreams for some reason. Can never remember the conversations we have, but it's sort of just a, you know, it's to me it's sort of like a, I guess, like a reminiscing of my past, but on my terms, sort of, you know. So, like, I guess, you know, it's recognizing people that I've known in the past, and sort of just, you know, remembering the good times in a sense. The other thing that really annoys me about these dreams, these boring dreams. Why do I keep grabbing buckets? I keep grabbing the wrong thing. I'm trying to grab, like, it's fine, I'm gonna need it because there's a lot of blood. But one of the annoying things, again, going back to the annoying things that my brain does to ruin every dream that I have, is even in the boring dreams where I'm just, you know, chilling out in this, I don't know, I'm gonna call it a plaza, mall plaza thing. The thing that annoys me is sometimes I'll get lost. Like, I'll know the way, I'll look at a direction, I'll be like, okay, in my dream, I want to go this direction because there's something there. There's something that'll probably tell me a bit more about this location or something. There's always an agenda there. There's always a reason I want to go to. Stuck. There's always a reason I want to go to a location or go beyond what I always come back to in my dreams. But then I'll get lost and I'll be like, I'll walk in a circle and I'll be like, okay, how am I here? I've been walking what feels like hours, you know, in the sleep time. And I'll be like, I'm stuck, and I'll be exhausted. I'll exhaust myself in my dreams. I'll be like, I don't know what I'm doing. How am I so lost in what seems to be such a small or familiar place? And again, it's just, I feel like it's just my brain being like, you don't get to enjoy your dreams anymore. We are here to just make it the worst experience for you. Which would explain why my sleep is just always so bad. I never get a good night's sleep. And I think it's partly because my brain is constantly fighting itself, both trying to have pleasant dreams, but then another part of my brain is always just like, you know, we're gonna sabotage this dream because we can. Or because secretly maybe I like the challenge, but I don't really. Or a part of me likes the challenge, but another part of me doesn't. I don't know. I think this goes a long way in portraying the frustration it is to be me sometimes. If this is the conflict I go through during my sleep hours, where you're supposed to be at peace, you know, you're really not doing much but resting yourself. Imagine me awake, full consciousness. You can imagine. I don't know. Screw it. I'm just gonna drop it. I gotta mop up back afterwards anyway. Okay. But yeah. So getting back to the more exciting dreams that I have, I notice I also have dreams where they're pretty much like movies, which is great. You know, I somehow can entertain myself to putting on a movie with an actual narrative, with actual concepts and like characters. And are you serious? Jesus Christ, today is just not my day. And scenarios, a really cool one I had recently, one that I really enjoyed. I wish I could have played out in completion, but I had a dream where it was a mashup of both Star Wars and Aliens. In that, so I guess it's one of the bases from the original Star Wars trilogy. I think in Return of the Jedi, I think when they go to Endor, I don't know, I don't remember, but it's you only see it for a second, or you really don't see it at all, but it's just like there's a facility like on a planet, I guess, and it's pretty small. It's like an outpost. And oops, why did I put that there? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm getting distracted by my dream talk, and I'm putting intestines in my box. Why did I do that? I can't even get it back out. Help. There we go. But yeah, so I see this. It's this little outpost facility, and for some reason, there's a xenomorph on it. You know, for the Alien franchise, and I'm just like, all right, well, this is weird, but this is cool, and it's a straight up thriller. It's a thriller where the people at the outpost are trying to survive not being killed by the xenomorph by hiding in vents and everything. Their blasters for some reason don't do anything to the xenomorph, or the xenomorph is just, you know, really not bothered, or I don't know, for whatever reason that I can't remember. My brain was just like, the lasers and, you know, technology here just doesn't work on the xenomorph, so whatever. And it was just this really crazy, suspenseful narrative of narrative of an alien stalking these people at this command post, and it was really cool. Yeah. I also have really weird dreams, only fragments of dreams that I've had narrative wise. I've had a dream about being again, sort of like in the Alien world, at least the lighting. The lighting, for whatever reason, was inspired by Aliens, straight up. I think I just really love the Aliens movie anyway. Or Alien. Sorry. I am a fan of Alien, not so much a fan of Aliens, just because I felt like the atmospheric nature and suspense of the original Alien was much more my style than the more action-oriented style of Aliens. So, if you ever needed to know my opinions on that, there you go. The lighting has always been something that stuck with me throughout pretty much everything. As a horror buff, you know, lighting is always very important. So the way that lighting is used in Aliens or the Alien franchise has always really appealed to me. So yeah, getting back to the dream, it's for some reason I was in a I guess a spaceship or a facility that was lit like the Alien movie. But for some reason, the walls were moving in a way that was noteworthy. And I poked the wall, realized it's covered in living. It's a living organism on the wall, and I'm like, huh. And for some reason, it turns out to be like these giant roach-like things that are hard, like as metal, I guess. They have like a shell on their back, which is hard as metal. But they're squishy under, so for some reason, and I'm the character apparently in this scenario, for some reason, my thought process was, okay, I can't get to their inner sides, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pry them off the wall and throw them like a giant fish across across the hall, so that their backs, you know, well, like, so I guess they ricochet their backs off the wall, and then they fall to the floor, and then I just kill them. They get to the squishy bit under them. So the entire dream that I can remember, the fragment of the dream that I can remember, is me disposing of the roaches by literally tearing them off the wall and then just hurling them across the way. And I woke up after. I remember waking up after that, being like, "What the hell did I just dream about? What inspired that situation?" I don't know. To this day, I don't know. And I think calling them roaches is probably disingenuous to their actual design. Like, they were probably more like, I don't know, maybe more like a, it's hard to say. I want to say silverfish, but not really a silverfish. I don't know. It's hard. Yeah, I can't. The words won't do it justice to the weirdness of this creature, but. You know, if you're out there trying to think up movie ideas, there you go. If I ever see that in a movie, and you know, feel free to credit me, you know, or you know, just take it for yourself. I'll just be happy to see my weirdness brought to life. You know, I think what I've come to, I can't find the gun. There's the gun. I think what I've come to accept is that my brain, or the dreams that I have, are just the end result of my brain trying to get rid of the excess creative juices that I require throughout my daily life. So, you know, if we're giving a physical attribute to my creative juices, then my body is creating, damn it, my body is creating an abundance of creative juices that it then expels at the end of the day while I'm sleeping to such a crazy extent that I have not only weird dreams, theatrical-like dreams at that sometimes, but then my brain also decides, you know what, we should still keep it going when I'm sleeping, and we're just gonna challenge itself to a game of wits and logic, I guess, which is every bit as exhausting as it probably sounds. Good. Again, more ammunition, you know, in case you need it for just how crazy I am, I guess, in real life. Is that crazy? I don't know. See, that's the thing. I wish I could... Jesus, these holes are just impossible to fix. And it's burning the walls. This is just bad news bears. But that's the thing. I've always wanted to submit my dreams, or just talk to someone who's got some kind of knowledge of dreams, and just ask them, what does this mean? Does it just mean I am just a crazy man? And the answer is more than likely yes. But you know, it would be great to see the reactions of a professional. Just be like, huh, indeed. Most people dream about dragons and, you know, what the heck? Okay. Being the hero of some scenario. Maybe channeling their inner diehard and being like, you know, the average Joe who becomes the hero of a situation, you know? Or maybe you dream of doing your taxes, I don't know. I think there was something that really spoke to me in Mr. Robot, especially in one of the episodes where he talks about, you know, I guess Mr. Robot's not a good reference point here, but you know, being able to debug code in your dreams is, I think, something that he said, and I would love to do that. You know, be able to look at an issue I'm having on a Let's Dev episode and be like, I could probably debug this in my dreams. That'd be great. And then, you know, remember how to debug it when I wake up. That's the most important part. But, you know, I think that would be great. But, you know, what does that say about the human psyche? You know, what does it say about my psyche? That my brain is constantly like, you know, we're gonna be a dick to you. It's like, thanks, brain. I've also had that situation where, like, I've had dreams where I'll be trying to, you know, put something together, like build a PC, and I'll be like, why doesn't this fit together? I'm looking at it, and I just can't figure it out, you know? It's a misshapen, or it's an odd shape that you don't necessarily recognize, and you're like, I realize A goes into B, but for some reason, it doesn't work. What is it about my brain that is just like, you're not figuring this out, you're not putting this together? Burnt the wall so many times and these bullet holes just won't cover up. Am I in a dream right now? It's getting too real, man. Video games, my dreams, real life, it's all merging into one. Okay, this is just ridiculous. Hello? Come on, man. I'm not leaving this spot until this bullet hole is covered. I'm not getting any burn holes. So I guess that's about it. Good. Okay, good. 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 Great. Fantastic. God damn it. So I guess I'll pass off the question to you guys. Any interesting dreams that you are willing to share? As I was saying, it would be interesting to see just what exactly all of the dreams mean. But again, I don't think dreams can necessarily be binary, you know, in terms of what they mean. So, you know, you always have to take, I guess you have to take it as, you know, why are you dreaming at that certain point in your life and what it means to you, you know, then I think that's really the best answer to dream interpretation. So I'm always curious about, you know, maybe I'm dreaming of crazy movie ideas because I'm not satisfied with the current movie industry's you know, offerings. So, you know, so it's my way of creating, maybe the same way that I like to create the types of games that I do, because, you know, there are technically things that I'm not seeing on the market at the current time, you know. Maybe the same can be said about my silly movie ideas. Okay, those weren't bullet holes. Great. Okay, good. I'm gonna assume I didn't make that worse. Jesus Christ. I made it worse. Yeah, they're not as obvious as these bullet holes, so I'm assuming that's okay. But anyway, I think that's a good place to call it for now. Just how weird my dreams tend to be. You know, got a nice insight into that. At least it wasn't cannibalism, you know, at least we can say that much, so that is the plus. But yeah, as I was saying, any interesting dreams you guys have had, any interesting interpretations you guys have had for any dreams you guys have had in your lifetimes, would love to hear from you guys in the comments. And again, if you guys enjoy this series, please leave a like, let me know in the comments, and you know, hopefully I'll continue it. I enjoy doing this series. It's a nice change of pace from the rest of the stuff. Let me enunciate better than that. the rest of the stuff that I tend to do during the month, especially this month with the crazy focus on Let's Dev. So yeah, if you enjoy it, please let me know, and you know, I'll hopefully possibly do more in the future. I guess depending on how well this one does, so we'll see. But nonetheless, woohoo, 2 points. Nonetheless, thank you so much for watching, listening, whatever you guys have been doing while I, you know, reminisced and ranted about my dreams. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.